When do you need to start curating your own inner circle?
I wasn't sure what scared me more, seeing Dami or realizing I couldn't utter a solid response to a simple invitation.
How do we learn how to find the people that we can really bond with? So here you are, a ghost of your heart, bound by friendship that tore you apart.
The dim lights blinded me as I walked in. The stench of sweat, thick in the air, a cocktail of testosterone maxed as musk. Each weight seemed heavier than the last, or was it a labeling error? 35 kilos? I remember what 35 kilos feels like. I lifted my niece Annie a few weeks ago, carrying her off a carousel at her insistence. Her mother, my sister, was all too relieved to pass her off after an afternoon overloaded with sweets and screaming. She'd already broken the budget on Annie's birthday extravaganza and probably forgot to squeeze in funds for a babysitter. I watched Annie spin and giggle as my sister and her friends relaxed, marveling at Annie's dress, at her picture-perfect motherhood. Every now and then, my sister threw a look my way, a reassuring nod at her brother, the dutiful uncle who doesn't socialize. Could he handle a few minutes alone with his niece? They all had it wrong, thinking I lacked friends or social skills.
Hey, today we are talking about friendship. So is your friendship toxic? And when do you need to start curating your own inner circle? What signs do you need to see before you're like, no, I want to handpick the people that I'm going to let into my inner circle? It's a poison with a luring taste. First, it's sweet, then it bonds with haste. You sip, you wait for the flavor to change, thinking that patience is your virtue and this bond is the exchange. You cling to the chains that wrapped around tight, convinced that you are nothing without their light. You anticipate, pour yourself out, but their cup never fills. It just leaves you in doubt. There is a research that suggests that we are more likely to live longer if we have true friendship and deep connection. So have you experienced the situation that once you meet someone, you connect immediately, you were like, oh my God, we're gonna be close friends. Then you go out and have a drink and you sit down and you're like, nah, no, it's not happening. We're just going to be like distant friends. Hey, hi. So in this episode, we're going to explore two stories. One of them is about two friends. Their friendship is made in heaven, probably. Tolu and Nami. Tolu is, she has this rude attitude towards people that she believes are not in the same social class as she is. Nami loves Tolu. Their bond is strong. They're always together. But one day they'll go to a restaurant and Tolu snaps, belittles a waitress, and Nami comes in defense of the waitress, attacking her friend. The second story is about James. James has so many friends, lots of friends, yet he has not met any.
I have friends, the kind who don't care if I show up late or wander off for days, only to return with a green and an empty can of energy drink. We meet every day, sometimes for 4-hour stretches, and they never once judge me. Instead, they always are cheerful, with a hey or welcome back, like I'm a piece they've been waiting for, someone who makes the group feel complete. Someone will always say, you missed out, don't worry, we'll catch you up. The best part is that none of it really needs to be real. Stories and jokes drift between us, a thread of voices pulling us together, as easy and unpressured as it gets. No one prize, no pressure, no expectations. Just a low hum of friendship, a steady background that's always there, whether I'm there or not.
But my family, they had a different take. James, men your age are living alone. Some already own a house. I'd hear it every time I tiptoed down the hallway. It didn't matter how quiet I tried to be, avoiding squeaky doors and even peeing in the dark to skip notice. They always heard, always nagged. Lately, I kept to my room, my own space, my own fortress. No girlfriend, no couch surfers, just me and my gaming buddies. We'd munch popcorn, chug soda, pulling all night as a team. Practically family. Although, unlike real family, I got to choose them. My own family? That's a different story. Last week, I was deep in a game level where my mom barked in, yanked the plug, my world went black, and she tore into me like only unchosen family can. I didn't know where to go, so I grabbed my hoodie and found myself here in the gym. So now let's get back to the restaurant. Let's get back to Tolu and Nami's experience. Put yourself in the position of that waitress she belittled in public. So that waitress will feel ashamed, and that waitress will feel hurt and not seen, invisible, disrespected. And maybe even Nami herself, the friend, right? That's just watching that will also feel ashamed. What do you think is the best way to go about this kind of situation? Like, go in defense of the vulnerable person or the victim, and talk to your friend, call your friend out, or stay with your friend and maybe I don't even know. Just let me know what you think. What's better? What will be the better approach in the situation? Their problems are crafted for you to solve. In their eyes, you are to listen and revolve. You are the giver, the mender, the shoulder, the hand. Yet somehow, you are the only one they misunderstand. You laughed at their jokes, you played their games. Yet inside, you're battling shame. They say you must grow and change, but it's to fit their box they have arranged. Just to build a friendship bond, are you ready to explore things that you are actually not interested in?
The gym, of all places, the gym. I figured it will be empty at this hour, filled maybe with people trying to secretly lose weight like me. Hoodie on, I dusk past the fluorescent light, hoping no one would notice me. The guy across from me was all muscle and veins, probably hadn't touched a controller in years. I kept my head down until I heard a voice. "James, man, it's been ages." I looked up to see a mountain of a guy. "Do you remember me? We were on the team back then in school." It was Dami. Skinny, gangly Dami. The very one I animated the boys to tease for never catching the ball. And here he was, 80 kilos of muscle. I barely muttered a "yeah, Dami," as I racked my brain for more. A stiffened silence stretched between us, damp, thick with sweat. Just as I wondered if I should walk away, he broke the silence. "Come with us to the bar afterwards," he said, like he wanted to initiate me in a real-life routine. But me at a bar with strangers and them of all people, it felt like a setup. Him waiting to put out a list of all the ways I used to taunt him in school back then. My pulse spiked as I watched him work back, leaving me there to figure it out. The invitation hung in the air, as heavy as the weight. I wasn't sure what scared me more. Seeing Dami, or realizing I couldn't utter a solid response to a simple invitation.
So navigating friendship is not easy, and we are never taught how to actually be a good friend, build friendship. This is something that's so important. You have lots of books about romantic relationship advice, marriage advice, sex advice, but not friendship. And this is actually the bulk of our time here. But there's one thing though, you hardly, or I wouldn't even say hardly, it's not proper to expect one friend, one bestie to fulfill everything for you, right? All your desires, the things you want to do and everything. They're the person that's there to hear you, be with you, to hold your hands when you're vulnerable, when you cry. They're still the same person that will go to the gym with you. They're still the same person that will go to the cooking class. It's not possible. That expectation and burden is too much for one person. So having different levels of bonds and friendship is pretty much healthy, right? But I want to know your take, what you think. How do we learn how to connect with people? How do we learn how to find the people that we can really bond with? So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your ideas, and your experiences. In the end, they tell you grow to be true, yet somehow that growth isn't you. So here you are, a ghost of your heart, bound by friendship that tore you apart. But maybe it's time to reclaim what they call growth, you call by name.